Hey guys, we have an HVAC channel. We're going live tonight. This is Zay Dupree. He's an HVAC business owner. He is located in New York. This is a little map here. He's located in, I believe it's Troy.
Troy.
Which is right here, correct? Or am I wrong?
Home Uncle Sam. At least that's what they say.
So basically, you're just outside of
Albany State Capital.
Albany's capital, close to Massachusetts and Vermont, correct?
Yep.
Okay. A lot of you guys know I opened a business 2013, sold it in 2018 for a profit, started it from scratch, built it up. Post a lot of how-to videos on how to grow your HVAC channel. Recently contacted by Zay here. He's going to let us know a little bit about who he is and why we're doing this live stream. So without further ado, Zay Dupree.
Yeah, guys. So basically, been in the business for about 6 years now, 2 years of college prior to. Just recently opened up my own company beginning of this month. Was working for a commercial contractor for the past 6 years since school. And I had some time off. I just recently had a daughter and everything. And while I was out of work for a little bit, just taking care of the family, I stumbled across Ren's videos as far as, starting your own HVAC company. And at first I'm kind of like, all right, this guy kind of, down to earth, seems like a regular guy. And then, he's talking, and he's bringing regular people on his streams. And I'm like, man, these guys, like, they kind of sound like me, like I'm understanding, like what they're saying. They're regular guys just trying to figure out what they want to do, with their careers. And next thing I know, I'm sending Ren an email, and I have, what do I got here? Notebook here full of stuff that we've been talking about. And here we are today.
Okay. So how long did it take before you decided to actually open up, Zay? I mean, was it a thought process? Was it something you just did on the spur of the moment? Was it something you researched?
It was something I probably started thinking about, honestly, probably only about 2 months ago, considering it. Once I got on YouTube and stumbled across your videos, it was kind of like, okay, how soon can we do this? So if we put it at, say, I think you and Mel made your videos in May.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I caught those videos in June, mid-June. By mid-July, I knew I wanted to do it in August 2nd. My business was born. Didn't operate or anything like that, but I knew, this is what I wanted to do, and that I wasn't going to go back to work.
Did you watch in that live stream dated for the 6th of May with Mel, Meet Mel?
Yep.
Did that kind of make you feel like, hey, if Mel can do it, maybe I should try and do it? Or
yes, just because it was, again, it's almost like, when you see a guy, talking your language, kind of like doing what you do, you're kind of like, hey, and then again, he's talking about it like, hey, if anyone out there, looking or thinking about doing it, and you got this, that, and that, hey, go for it. So it was kind of, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, is this something I'm going to do down the road, or am I going to kind of take these guys' advice now and just do it?
Yeah, and so here you are, and then obviously you opened up your business just a little while ago.
Yeah.
What kind of struggles have you ran across, if any?
I would honestly just say, really, it's one thing to be a technician. It's like a completely different thing to be a business owner, because it's one thing to just have to, focus on calls and stuff like that, or even, a troublesome unit. It's a, completely different beast to say, okay, now I'm going to like run this business, even just like understanding like certain financials and, anything honestly associated with the business. I wouldn't say it was necessarily hard, but it was just a whole different ball game, because it all matters now.
Yeah, I mean, being a technician and just fixing the equipment is, at a certain point you get the experience.
Right.
It's easier.
Yep.
But then being a business owner, there's so much to learn. Just like the first day you're in the HVAC business, when you don't know how to maybe change a condenser fan motor, check the unit, charge it, whatever, fix the heat. And it's like a whole new learning curve.
Right.
One of the hardest things that I found when I was in business was getting that phone to ring or having somebody to visit to tell my story to, whether it to be fix the air conditioner, fix the heat, what have you. Have you found that to be a struggle?
I guess I could say up to this point, the phone hasn't just been, ringing off the hook. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things where, I've done a couple jobs, so I've kind of been able to say, okay, I'm doing all right here, but without, talking with you or, kind of having whatever strategies you may have. Yeah, I don't really know how exactly I go about necessarily getting the phone to ring.
Now, I think we talked earlier. Today was the first day we've ever met.
Yes, sir.
Probably talked on the phone for about an hour and a half.
Yep.
And you were telling me that you had tried some leads.
Yep.
Or purchased, basically you're buying some customers. What was that? How was that experience? How'd you get involved in that?
Purchasing leads?
Didn't you say didn't you have some leads come through, or you were, Thumbtack or?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Thumbtack. Okay. What basically happened there was, I did have, I had leads come through, but they, the way they do it, it's kind of like, they're charging you for stuff before you can even close the deal, on a particular job. Now, again, I'm brand new to this stuff, so I don't know if that's just, how a lot of these, vendors do it, but a lot of times if I'm coming from a standpoint where I'm like, okay, well, I do free estimates and you're charging me for a job that I may not even close the deal on, kind of almost, especially if I got to say drive 45 minutes or so to even look at the job, it almost makes me feel like I'm kind of starting, behind the eight ball a little bit. So that was a little bit of a surprise. But, again, it's kind of like a give or take type of thing. You know what I mean? That particular, I think that was like an install. So I guess they charge a little bit more for a potential install. But
did you get it?
No.
What'd they cost you?
$59.
How'd that make you feel?
I kind of like somebody robbed me, to be honest. It kind of felt robbed. And it was funny because it was stated in the lead that, hey, I have no job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was that? What was that lead source?
That was Thumbtack. That was Thumbtack.
Thumbtack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I always used to think that's like a steak dinner coming out of my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. It's like, and I'm like, okay, I definitely respect somebody being honest, like, oh, hey, listen, I'm looking to get this work done, but I'm kind of strapped for cash. Okay, I respect the honesty, but
that didn't help you.
no, you know what I mean? So, but they're like, oh, hey, look at this. This is a lead for you here. And we're just going to take $60 off the top, so you don't have to necessarily worry about, anything like that. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
That's kind of hard when you're starting out and you need every job to count.
Again, because, you pay attention to everything, you got to pay attention to every dollar and stuff like that. It's like, damn, so.
Can't keep filling that gas tank up unless it's making you money.
No.
That truck got to sit.
Exactly. So, other than that, like I said, I guess I'm kind of, sitting. I did a job last week, that I did, I made a decent profit off. So I guess I'm kind of sitting on that, but at the same time, that's not how you run a business. You know what I mean? So you got to
eat every day.
Yeah. You got to hunt. You know what I mean? So I definitely don't look at it like, oh, hey, as long as I do something this week, I don't got to worry about that week. That's definitely not what I'm in it for. And I know that's not how you survive,
Now, the fact that you're in New York, you're similar a little bit. I'm in the Midwest.
Yep.
I'm outside of Chicago. You're in New York.
Yep.
If anybody that's watching has a comment or a question, feel free to put it in there. If we can answer it, we will. Appreciate the few people that are showing up. A lot of these live streams I do spur of the moment, not very scheduled. I'm not very organized when it comes to that, but I thought it was important because even though I spoke to this gentleman probably within the last 4.5, 5 hours, wouldn't you say, Zay?
Yeah.
We just spoke
today.
We've already started taking action on how we're going to get some customers. And if you could explain what we talked about, what you're doing, and just some of the things that you've already seen kind of popping off that someone watching this video, whether it be tonight or another time,
right?
Because this isn't made up, this isn't staged,
right?
Even though I might be polished and seem like an actor,
right?
Zay here is not being paid to do this.
No.
But the strategies I put in place for the new guys out there that are just starting their HVAC business, it's working. I've got a guy in Virginia, a guy in Alabama, a guy in Florida, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, which is what kind of inspired Zay. He's like, this guy can't be making this shit up.
Yeah, because he's not picking one. You're not picking one part of the country here. You're not going, like I said, Tucson, Arizona, Tallahassee, Florida, you're all over. So basically, as far as, with the home warranty, companies, that, Ren, videos are about, Ren called me today. He gave me a list of.
I just called you out of the blue, or, oh, you emailed me.
Yes. Yeah. No, yes. Okay. So yeah, how it originally happened. Yeah. I emailed Ren last night, after watching his latest video, and he got right back to me. He actually told me to call him tonight. He then called me today. That's pretty much how that happened, right, Ren?
Yeah. One second. Roger, I don't know the cities in South Carolina. I think he's outside of Charleston, if I'm not mistaken. His name's Billy. He was on one of our early live streams with Mel.
Yep.
He's killing it, and he's just doing what we're doing. So I hope that answered your question. I don't specifically know the city, but he is in South Carolina. But anyways, so back to Zay here. So basically, we gave you some homework. You had a notepad.
Yep.
Like in my videos, I'm always talking notepad. And we do that because we want to, when you're building a business, you got to have something to make notes on. And this is my notepad when I'm doing videos, buying real estate, whatever it is. I'm making notes because I can't sit there and remember stuff. And when I get busy, I want to, come back to it. But so we gave Zay a list of how many home warranty companies?
I believe we started with at least, say, 7. And then by the time, we got on the phone with some other guys, we had to be over 10. I'm looking at a list of 13 right now total. So, but regardless of what, the one that you guys told me to sign up with first, I was still in the process of submitting my insurance paperwork, and I had work orders already coming into my email for work that they wanted done. It was
And that was when? Today?
Today. Yeah, today. So at when did I mean
It was
say
4:08. It was 4:08. I remember because you said at 5:08
right.
I'm going to finish
So
signing up.
So 4:08 we hung up the phone. I'd say by 5, or no, not even by 5, by 4:47 I probably was getting work orders. And then by 5:08 I was actually just got access to the portal for that particular vendor. So basically what happened is
I don't know if he froze. I think Zay froze here. Let me give him a call. There we go. Yeah, you must have froze. What'd you do?
Yeah, sorry about that.
So anyways,
add that to all the other technical difficulties today.
Yep. So sorry about that, guys. So it looks painful if you did. So Mr. Bernie, that's a gentleman, one of my coworkers, probably one of the best mechanics out there. He works on all the big stuff. I'm exhaust fans and stuff like that. He's big boy stuff. But anyway, so within about 45 minutes of getting off the phone with me, you already literally had 2 customers. And if you've watched some of my previous videos where I did with Elvis 2 weeks ago, who is just already checks in the mail, he's killing it. Following the same advice that I give all these other guys that are giving advice all throughout the country. How did that make you feel, Zay, when we kind of gave you this little bit of a homework and all of a sudden you've seen customers coming in the door?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because it's like, okay, like I told you earlier, I've seen all the live streams. So I don't want to say it was just like I couldn't believe it because guys have said it, you know what I mean? But it's like, well, damn, you know what I mean? Like I was telling, it's kind of like a shoulder season up here now, you know what I mean? And that was, 2 calls, so I could only imagine if it was, say, June or, the first cold snap, they'd probably still be coming in. I could imagine, you know what I mean? Because again, I wasn't even fully registered yet, and somehow, some way, work orders were being sent out before I could even truly access them to see what they were about, because I didn't even have access to the portal yet.
Would you say that kind of, I mean, you're just new small business owner. I mean, it took you about 45 minutes of time.
Yeah.
Contacting the right person, reaching out to me in an email.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you're seeing what we're doing.
Right. Yeah.
It probably it didn't cost you $1 except 45 minutes of your time, which when you're new, you don't have. I would rather invest my time than spend my money.
Yeah, for sure.
And you still got a lot of homework to do. There's plenty of leg work to do until you get busy. But I would probably think if you're doing this right, not unrealistic, do a couple $1,000s in business between now and Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, when you were paying $69 or $59 for leads through Thumbtack, that people weren't really interested.
Right.
These are qualified leads. People have the money to buy the products and services that you're offering, and they're being sent to you at no cost.
Right.
Sign me up, right? I mean, So this was kind of an impromptu, live stream tonight, and I just wanted to, we're really documenting the ground zero.
Oh yeah.
This is in my opinion ground zero. Like a lot of these guys I've worked with that are on live streams, I've worked with them for weeks, maybe even a month before we really hit the ground running, and then we start talking about it.
Yeah. This is 0-0.
Right. So I figured it'd be nice to kind of really put it out there, like
Oh yeah.
day one, and the stuff that you've got to do is you probably realistically got another 8 hours worth of office work.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
To keep you busy, which will keep you when you're working on building your business. You're not worried about necessarily who you're going to see, because you know that when you're putting in the legwork with what we're having you do,
Right.
it's going to produce results at some point.
Oh yeah.
And some of the work's a little bit harder than the others, but it's, the bottom line is we're signing them up with home warranty companies. Instead of signing up with one, we've got a list of right now currently 13.
Yeah.
It's just as easy to sign up with one as it is 13.
Yeah.
Because some of them might not pop in your area. Right. And you don't know that. I don't know that. I mean, you can do the research and legwork and try and figure it out, but by the time you do all that, you might as well just sign up with them all and see what happens. If they don't send you any work, you didn't lose anything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean later on down the road that they couldn't
never know.
some customers.
And like you said, it really is. I mean, it's almost like rinse and repeat as far as like the process of, filling them out. So just like you said, the time it would take to say, try to research, is this one good around here? Or is that one good around here? I mean, you could have them all filled out by then, or at least, filled out to the point where, someone would reach back out to you, or, maybe have to follow up or something like that. But yeah.
Now, are you keeping track of the people that you're signing up with and checking them off your list, or can you show us that? I mean, can you?
Yeah. So basically how I got everything set up right here. Basically 1 through 13, everything starred are the people that I've spoken to. Well, not spoken to, they're registered. But I haven't gotten any confirmation. And then down here, I got a couple phone numbers written down for a couple of companies that I do need to actually call, to actually try to get someone on the phone.
I got a question in there. Can you see it? Is your comment tab open up on the left there?
On the
top left, hit the comment tab. You can see people are asking you questions.
I can't even see it.
I cannot pronounce that
here
name.
It is. Oh, there it is.
I'm not even gonna attempt that name because I'm not that smart.
Yep.
Are you obligated to complete every service call that comes your way when you sign up with a home warranty company? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You can cherry pick.
That's actually a pretty good question, because I someone from dispatch actually did contact me. It was actually for about something else, but they were looking it up, and they was like, oh yeah, we did notice that this particular call was a little bit distant from you, and there was no, they're kind of just like, oh hey, this is kind of out your way. But then she actually said, oh hey, let me punch something up to see if there's anything closer, and she's like, oh no, there's nothing closer right now. But like me and Ren discussed earlier, it's one of those things where I got a couple kids, so if it's something to where I needed to make sure that I can keep groceries on my table, I could have went from talking to Ren at 4:08 and pretty much tomorrow morning had a day's work if I said, you know what, I want them all and I'm just going to be out for a couple hours. That's the truth.
Yeah, and we were talking about that. Unless you got these big 10, 20, 30, 40,000, $60,000 marketing budgets like I had when I was in business, and I'd grown to that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very inexpensive way, doesn't cost you anything, to get customers. And the name of the game, and I advocate this book, and this isn't, this is a lot of stuff I'm just repeating. So HVAC Spells Wealth by Ron Smith. If you're watching this later, I'm going to put a link in the description on that. Very good book. Covers a lot of the stuff that I've learned, and a lot of the stuff I share. A lot of the experience I have comes from business. The name of the game in any business is get and keep customers.
Right.
And man, when you're new and you're trying to get that phone to ring, it's hard.
This is gonna be good though, Ren, because for anyone that's wondering, I mean, this literally is a video where this is ground level. We can call this zero. So we can say if we took out any work that I've done, we know that, I basically started August 2nd, but you can say I didn't even really start operating until after, say, August 18th. So we're just in, what is it, September 7th. So you could call it, less than a month in operation. And, here's this video. So
yeah, we're making this video, and today is the day that you actually met me through an email.
Right.
Now, what were you thinking when you shot the email? You're like, oh, this guy ain't gonna contact me, or?
Well, no, honestly, no, because I sent you an initial email a couple months back, actually just, stating that I was thinking about starting up a company and everything else. And I'd like to, potentially join the network or whatever the case may be. And you even got right back to me then. And you said, hey, send me your number. I'll give you a call sometime. I just so happened to see another one of your videos yesterday, and you were basically saying, hey, listen, this is what I'm trying to do. Reach out to me. And I knew that, I had, at least I gone from, thinking about starting a company to where now I, have a company, insurance and everything else. So I decided, hey, why not reach out? And here we are today. And that was literally probably only a little over 24 hours ago, the initial email that I sent out to you, kind of responding to your video. And here we are today.
Yeah, and I was happy to get a hold of you. Happy to find out that you had a lot of the preliminary shit out of the way, and I talked about that in one of my videos I just did. The first thing you got to do is figure out what kind of licensing the, city, state, county you live in requires. Kind of get that groundwork out of the way. Insurance, and then basically you need a vehicle. You get those three things,
ready to go.
We can kind of push you in the right direction. Now, here's the deal. You got to have the HVAC experience. Yep. I'm not here to teach you that. You can watch a million YouTube videos on guys teaching that.
Right.
And the thing that I'm teaching is how do I take the technician that leaves a company, opens a company, or whatever the story may be, and how do I give him that push in the right direction so he can really start bringing in some money for the business and then start to grow that thing, because we're just starting out. And if we got at least a consistent, steady flow of revenue and cash, we can start to make business decisions to even expand it and grow. And that's kind of what I've found myself doing. And I've watched these guys do it since May. And it's like, well, if a guy comes to me with insurance, a truck, and a license, and he's hungry, we're going to, knock the ball off the cover, and I can point him in the right direction. Now, here's the deal. I can't do the work for you, but I can give you all the information you need in order to accomplish that work. Is that kind of what you've seen today?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think I mentioned this to you earlier. If you did anything more, I mean, I might as well work for you. I mean, it's almost like that simple, or like work for someone else. Like that's how kind of like straightforward, you know what I mean? You got to take the initiative. I mean, it is your company, like it is something that you're, trying to stand on. So you should at least be willing to, do the homework that someone's willing to assign you, especially if it's going to make you money down the road.
Well, I mean, this stuff's designed to make you money real quick too, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
We've had a lot of success just really following these simple little pieces of advice. Really haven't even gotten dangerous yet. I know quite a bit more on like really how to put Miracle-Gro on that business.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to plant the seed and see where they sprout. And, if someone comes to me with another challenge after they've kind of maxed this one out, I've got a million more that I've done, made my mistakes, spent my money, learned some hard lessons. but you got to kind of get to that point first.
Yeah.
Based on that list, just a quick glance, realistically, if you ain't got nothing to do, you can stay up all night and finish that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't have anything else planned.
Well, I mean, you're building a business. The quicker you get that
Right.
done,
Right.
Here's the deal. You only have to do that part once, and that's all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
and it's just a matter of servicing the customer.
It's all on computer. So like you're saying, it's some of these like literally took 6 minutes, 7 minutes because you're typing in all the same information. And again, if it gets to the point where like, okay, someone will, reach out to you, whatever the case, but at least you're registered, you know what I mean? Like, you're on someone's board. And again, like you said, if you got some callback number or, something to where, okay, you can go down to the next one to where you say, okay, well, I haven't even reached out to them yet. Let me fill this out. And then the next day, if what you're doing, if I'm, calling all these numbers or whatever the case may be, but yeah.
You feel like you're moving in a direction all of a sudden?
I do. I feel like, cause again, even me, trying to do maybe like some like preliminary stuff, just from, watching your videos or whatever, from like actually talking to you and you're saying, okay, hey, listen, do this and, I'll call you back in a bit. It's like, all right, yeah, it's definitely the arrow's pointing in the right direction. I'd say the right direction, honestly.
Well, and there's another gentleman on YouTube that has a channel, does pretty well, that kind of inspired you too. Who was that?
Oh yeah, Hvac. He's down there in Texas.
Yeah, and what were some of the things that you kind of seen him doing that kind of inspired you or that you liked?
I mean, even I watched him, he was down there and for the first couple of years when he was starting his business, I mean, he was working 2 jobs doing it. But he was also another person that I seen that was talking about, just gaining clientele through the home warranty companies. And and basically how he was saying, kind of like how you say, Ren, to where if you're going to, sign up for one, why not sign up for them all? Like every,
it's a buffet, man.
Yeah, it's like almost, I mean, okay, you're always going to have someone, that's going to have something bad to say about something, but no one won't say, hey, I haven't heard anyone say, hey, I signed up for so-and-so and the phone didn't ring, or hey, I signed up for home warranty and like they never called me, or I didn't make any money. You know what I mean? Now you may hear guys say, oh, hey, it should be more, but I mean, whatever, like I said, I'm just starting out and right now I'm a one-man band. So it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I started. One person. It was just me.
It'd be really hard for me to, like not make money. You know what I mean? It's, right now. So I don't really look at it like that as far as, this being worth this and this being worth that. I mean, I'm coming off an hourly wage. So pretty much everything I touch from here on out is more than that. So.
Right. I mean, you'd have to do a lot of bad stuff to not make any money if you got customers coming in the door. Question in the comments here. What are my thoughts on running a service only business? I'm going to give you my personal thoughts. So I want to do, if I'm going to run a business, I would never run just a service only business, because then the big ticket items are the replacement sales in the residential business or even commercial industrial. So a healthy business from a balance sheet perspective and profit margin, you want to do about 30% service, 60% change outs, and 10% maintenance, 20% maintenance, something like that. The money is in the meter drop.
Yeah. Case in point, I mean, I guess I myself, I mean, hey, like I did a job. Okay, so I got those 2 service calls came in today from the home warranty company, like I was telling you guys about. Last week I did a change out for a customer. Now, just off of that particular change out, I worked, it took me 2 days to do, and I brought home enough money after all expenses paid, which if I was at my previous employer, it would have been about 2.5 weeks pay, roughly. So that kind of goes to like what Ren is saying, to where, why only do a, service only company when like the margins are really on like those change outs, you know what I mean? So it's almost like, yeah, that, kind of like that. That's it in a nutshell.
You can make easily $3,500 to $6,000 for a change out. Service call, let's say your flat rate, you're $250 an hour, $300 an hour flat rate. You're gonna make money, but someone else is gonna gobble up the low hanging fruit on the change outs, because you're gonna get change outs by running service only by accident if you're not even pushing them.
Yeah.
Why would I give that money up? Because that's the money you're going to use to build your business, buy your trucks, buy the marketing, buy your buildings and stuff like that. I wanted to do $1 million a year. You need to do about 200 complete system change outs, furnace and air conditioning a year. It's really not that hard. So if you break that down, that's like 4 a week. I wanted to do 1 to 2 change outs a day, because that when you're doing that, the money is rocking and rolling, and everybody's making money. Everybody that works for you is making money.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's laughing and telling jokes. But when nothing's happening, everybody's miserable. Everybody's depressed.
You want the board filled with change outs. Boards filled with change outs. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have them stacked up in my shop, just waiting.
Yeah, that's what you want. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I'm smiling just thinking about something like that. And I am, a service technician. You know what I mean? But even though, my last company, it was like, the construction guys, they're 7 to 3:30. They're in and out, we're working late, those guys probably got to work 7 to 3:30 because, they were bringing in the big chunk money. Us service guys, we got to go out and earn it. So.
Yeah. I think for a small solo practitioner, if you could do 1 nice change out a week, at a minimum, 10, 15 service calls a week. If you do 10, 15 service calls a week, you're going to have more than 1 change out. But let's say you kept it small and you ran 12 service calls a week and turned in, you got a furnace here, air conditioner there. 2 weeks later, someone from that week calls back and says, hey, we're ready to move forward on another air conditioner. If you do a couple air conditioner jobs, 1 furnace job a week, and, dozen service calls, it's probably about 30 hours worth of week, 30 hours worth of work at that little bit of, depending on how good you are and how quick you are, time is money.
Yeah, always.
You can easily spend another 30 hours on the back end of your business building it, whether it be QuickBooks, House Call Pro, designing that, getting your maintenance, your marketing, designing logos, organizing your shop, cutting up scrap. The 30 hours a week in the field doing replacements and service is the easy part. It's having the discipline to come back to your house, because most of us started in our house, and doing all the mundane business owner stuff that is it's not even out there on the internet. No one's talking about exactly how to do it. It's kind of, for the average guy, he's out there trying to figure it out on his own. At least like with Zay here, he's got me that can kind of point him in the right direction.
Thank God.
So appreciate the comments. We're going to keep this a little bit short tonight.
Just starting out. We'll be back.
Yeah. So what's your plans after we get off this live stream, Zay?
I'm gonna get back online here and start, keep chopping at this list. I think, what do I got here? I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got five or six left here. Oh yeah, I can knock that out. No sweat. So probably about first thing in the morning, I'll be checking the email, seeing what's going on, or I'll be following up, making some phone calls.
How realistic do you think it is you're going to be running a service call from the work you did today tomorrow?
Oh, I mean, highly possible. Just off of the one, and then, like I said, I've signed up for a couple more. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say like 100% because nothing's certain, but
it wouldn't surprise you to have a service call?
No, wouldn't surprise me at all.
So, all right, guys, appreciate it. IHVAC, Zay Dupree, Ground Zero, day one, contacted me today. We talked about
Ground Zero, day one.
Yeah, so we're gonna update this one as we make some progress. If you're new to my live streams, I've got a bunch of them with a bunch of different technicians out there that have recently opened or started a business. A lot of good content in there. They're following the same advice that I'm giving Zay here, and they're having success all throughout the country. Zay's our next candidate. We're going to push him to see what he can get out of it. And, consider liking, subscribing, leave us a comment. My email is scrolling across the bottom of this. If you want to get in contact with me about anything, ask me a question, shoot me an email. I usually respond in about 24 hours, depending on what I've got going on. And I appreciate it. So we will see you on the next one. And Zay, if you could stick around for a minute.
Oh yeah, sure will.
Thanks everybody for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one.